the big boys are playing on Sunday. Okay. One of the big boys are playing on Saturday, which is Manchester City. Before John will just kill me today. Most of the big boys are playing on Sunday. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Manchester United are all playing on Sunday, so it's going to be a super Sunday in the Premier League. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Volt Sports on Volt 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. I'm here with the A team to talk about the Premier League and other leagues happening everywhere in Europe. And we'll probably talk about the Nigerian Professional League, the Rangers International are playing, even though they won that presidential cup during the midweek, they are advancing in that competition. So we're going to look into what they are doing in the Npfl. Good morning, John. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, super fans and football maniacs. Welcome to another show.
Good morning, Nasu.
Good, you said all the big boys are playing, and you forget to mention the one current champion of Europe. The one current champion of Europe. But it's fine. I will not say anything much. And when my jersey today.
You are not current.
I am current.
You are not current.
One of who current passed me for England? Who current passed me for England for Europe?
People they were current pass
No. 2022, 2023. Yes, let me not finish this sentence. 2022, 2023. UEFA Europa Conference League champions.
Okay.
You're a big boy too.
Remember, guys, you are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. You can go there, drop your comments. We will be reading your comments live here in the studio. It means that wherever you are, whether you're outside Enugu or whenever you decide to go outside Enugu, you can always join this conversation live with us in the studio at Volt FM Sports on YouTube. Okay, let's dive into the Premier League immediately. The games happening today in the Premier League on Saturday. West Ham will play. There's no early kickoff today, so West Ham will play Southampton by 3 p.m. Brentford will play Brighton. Everton will host Manchester City. You know that race for top 5 is still on. So let's see if Man City can win Everton in this game. Crystal Palace, after getting trashed midweek, they play Bournemouth, and the final game for today is going to be that battle of that top 5. Is Aston Villa will play Newcastle in the final game for today. Super Sunday in the Premier League, 2 p.m. Fulham will play Chelsea. 2 p.m. Ipswich Town will play Arsenal, and also Manchester United will play Wolves. All of these games are happening 2 p.m. tomorrow, Easter Sunday. And finally, last game for tomorrow is Leicester City will play Liverpool in the other game on Sunday. Okay, let's start with the Saturday game. Everton versus Manchester City. Everton is looking to break into that top 5. Man City is looking to break into that top 5. It's fun that we are talking about this kind of thing for Man City, but it is what it is this season. What do you think they need to do to win Everton? Because they need all 3 points. If you look at the table now, Newcastle winning midweek, they move third on the table.
Yes.
Nottingham Forest is 4th. Then Man City is 5th. So they need to win this game for them to have a chance to qualify for the Champions League.
First and foremost, I want to accept an apology for calling Sunday Super Sunday when all the other boys in the Premier League are not playing any tough opponents. If you told me it was Manchester United versus Chelsea, I would say okay, Super Sunday. If you told me Liverpool Arsenal, I'll say okay, fine, Super Sunday.
Super Sunday, because most of the big teams they play on Sunday. It's going to be super.
Who then they play?
Exciting
Who then
Sunday.
they play?
You know me. Ipswich Town they score goal. Ipswich Town almost beat Chelsea last week.
Wow, it's fine.
They almost beat Chelsea.
But
last game.
This game.
So don't tell them they are small.
Going to Everton at home is a tough one, and Pep needs to find somehow. Without Haaland for a while now, he needs to find a way to beat Everton to get all 3 points.
Without Haaland, we've been winning, and without Haaland in this encounter, we are going to win. Winners win, and that's what we do.
So what do you think will happen in this game?
John has said it all. He said winners win. But I hope to see this energy on Monday. I hope to see this energy of this pride on Monday, because everything we've seen for the last couple of games where they had to stop Arsenal from getting the full point. They had to stop Liverpool. They almost stopped Liverpool from getting the full point. And they played a couple of draws. I think 2 draws in the last 4 games, or 2 draws in the last 4 games. And they decided I can play compact. You get compact football. I don't believe their attackers have the pace to match the Man City defense yet, but they have all those players that when they come forward, there's no way they will not get a goal out of the game. And it's a game that if I can score early, then it's over for Man City. then it ends the draw. If I can fight my way back into that game and get a draw, that's what's playing in the Everton's head right now. But you look at Man City's side with the case of injuries they've had in midfield and their offense, and most of the players coming back from injuries. Okay, fine, Man City is back to half the full form they used to be. Not really there. They're still not 80%. They're not 100% where they used to be. They're 80% there. But this game is going to be tough for Man City.
Okay, let's get a prediction for that game. Everton and Man City. Who wins and who wins in this game?
Man City.
And also
Another draw.
Another draw.
draw.
Okay, West Ham is playing Southampton. Southampton are a team that dash everybody 3 points in this Premier League. They are rock bottom with I think 10 points in the Premier League. It's very poor. But they go to West Ham. Do you think that they can surprise West Ham?
Of course, they can surprise West Ham. Anything is possible. This is football. You know,
You
Everton.
reach Southampton time, they can surprise. They can surprise West Ham. They can show. Where the surprise one come from? Who wants score the goal? Now, I know actually one score. We don't know where post dey.
Don't
Who
worry.
wants score?
You will not see rain, you will not see wind, but you will see goal in the net.
I will see 3 points. West Ham. This is all that matters. 3 points. East London club. It's all that matters. You see, there's if you reach where you have like when person go party, then they share rice. You can't reach your turn, they can't jump you. You know how they pay rich. You know how painful it is that you dey roll. They share rice for everybody. You reach your turn, the rice finish. Now basically you just talk now. And I say as sometimes they share 3 points for everybody. You can't reach West Ham time, they can't jump. Can't go share for the next person. It's not possible. 3 points is coming to East London. Is signed, sealed, and delivered.
Okay,
It's just the delivery now we wait for. Just a sign confirmation of delivery.
last 5 games for West Ham, just 2 draws and 3 losses. But for Southampton, 4 losses and 1 draw. So probably
With that form, they want to come and win.
I'll
Probably
beat
they-
Southampton. It's not a question of how I'll beat them blue black. This one.
Okay, let's move on to the next game. Crystal Palace will play Bournemouth in the another 3 p.m. news. Who wins in this game?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth to win. Okay,
Yeah.
now so who wins?
Crystal
They
Palace.
trashed them 5-0 for
And you caught us. You know, say the last time when they do nothing for that kind of thing, they come back with 7-0. So this one now, Crystal Palace don't chop their 5. They fit do magic score 7, no. But they want to reduce the goal difference. So Crystal Palace for the win.
Okay, Brentford will play Brighton in the last game for 3 p.m. Who wins?
Brighton.
Brighton to win for John. Not so?
Brighton.
Okay, both of
But
you.
as we agree, I don't like her.
Both of you I agree.
I know.
Okay.
I don't like this agreement. They will not play a draw.
Okay, the final game for today is Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Newcastle are a team that picked form just late. Just if you look at the last 5 games, they won the last 5 games, trashing Crystal Palace in the last game. Even Manchester United, they trashed Manchester United 4-1 in I think 2 weeks ago. So they are
I
a
think 2
team
games
in
ago.
form. They have now 59 points, just 4 points behind Arsenal in that. In that race to finish top 2, or depending on how you want to see it, top 5, top 2, because gradually they are dragging Arsenal to this race. If Arsenal drop points today, -2, and everybody else wins, they will drag Arsenal into this particular struggle. But they are playing Aston Villa. Aston Villa has 54 points, just 5 points behind Newcastle. So if the Aston Villa wins this game, they will enter that top 4 conversation or top 5 conversation. But in this game, it's going to be an interesting game.
This is
Let's
where
be
all,
an
this is where all
interesting
the
one.
Chelsea fans will put their rosary inside water and begin to fast.
So who wins?
They want
Because
to fast.
any win here is still bad for Chelsea.
No. If Chelsea win,
If who wins?
if Chelsea wins tomorrow,
Okay.
they are equal on points with Aston Villa. Now they can top Aston Villa with goal difference.
No,
If we
Aston
win-
Aston Villa and Chelsea are on the same point.
That's what I'm saying now. They are on the same points now. So if Aston Villa wins today,
Okay.
they go up. If Chelsea win tomorrow, they will come back and top Aston Villa with goal difference. You get? So everybody is praying that Newcastle should drop points. Everybody, including Man City. That's because I use that. I look the guy on my side. Even everybody is praying for Newcastle to drop points. Not even Nottingham Forest fans. I pray for Newcastle to drop points. And in this one, I think a shared point is okay for the other teams.
Newcastle winning.
Newcastle to win for you.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what happens. The Nottingham Forest is playing on Monday. That's why I didn't mention them. Nottingham Forest will play Tottenham away on Monday, so it's still going to be a tough one. If I finish this, and Nottingham will not even finish at top
They
5.
may, if they
They're going to
finish
beat
sixth,
Tottenham. Leave
it's
that
okay,
thing.
you
But
know.
see, don't worry. Monday we'll come back and tell you.
I'm just saying because they have not been informed. Maybe past 2 games, they've lost past 2 games now. they have dragged them into this conversation of this top five. If everybody wins and they drop points, they drop out of top 5.
Mhm.
So it's going to be, and you have about 6 games to go.
If
Conference
you drop,
League is
And
not
remember, in
a
that
bad
6
finish.
games they play, they're going to play Manchester City in one of those
Of
games.
course.
in the last 6 games, they have Chelsea in the last game. I'm sure of that. That was Chelsea's
They have
last
to play
game.
City too.
And me, I'm sure that they will win that one. That particular one. That last game of the season, me, I'm sure that they'll win it. Is a signed, sealed, that delivery we wait for. But you see, in this top 4 race or top 5 race, Nottingham Forest have proven that they need to be here. Now, a couple of players went on, and John said injury is not an excuse, so I know it's not an excuse, but a couple of players went on injury, and the way this team plays changed. The team style changed. I think James Pratt has not been playing for them, though he was on loan. On January when he returned, set piece takers left the club. I think 2 players left the club in January. So plus James Pratt they collect on loan. They come up for January. They had no set piece takers. So since then they've not scored from set piece.
Let's leave that one. What they talk about Nottingham Forest on Sunday.
So
On Monday,
I'm just saying. So we'll talk about Nottingham Forest on Monday. I'll give you all the other thing. But I'm just saying, in this game, if every other person wins, it's just one day for them to wait. And though not, well, let's just see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. In this game, it's going to be a big game for them, Newcastle and Aston Villa. Let's see who wins in that game. Okay, before we move on to our Sunday games, Super Sunday games, we have, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports, and we are already getting predictions for today's game. And Athletic will be saying Man City to win Everton 3-1. He's also predicting Crystal Palace 2, Bournemouth 2. Okay, wow. Emmanuel Leo, welcome to the show. Good morning, guys. Una, don't forget me now, but no wahala. Oh, come on, Emmanuel, we don't forget you.
Don't forget you, bro.
I will forget you.
Super fan.
Okay, he's also saying West Ham now one team that is very unpredictable. This match should be clear win to them, but Southampton fit shock them. Okay.
Very shock, the electric shock, I mean, transformer shock.
Judah Onunko, welcome to the show. Say if Tyndall will be managing Newcastle, they will win, but this game will be super big. It should be a Sunday night football. Okay, it should be a Sunday, but they try to put it on Saturday. But let's see what happens in today's game. Moving over to Sunday games. Fulham will play Chelsea. It's going to be an interesting game because Chelsea.
It's a derby now.
It's a derby. And Chelsea are looking to finish in top 5. Number 1. Number 2, Chelsea lost their last game against Wifey Washawa in the Conference League.
Liga
Wazawa. They lost. So now they are playing Fulham, even though that Fulham has been on and off. For example, they won, they lost again in the last 5 games. They won 2 games and lost 3. If they win today, next week they will lose. Next 2 weeks, another week they will win. Now, if you follow that trend, that means they're supposed to win Chelsea.
Okay.
If you follow that last
one day on one.
Yes.
So with that one, this one I win.
But for Chelsea, 2 draws back to back. It's been poor for them. Everybody has been calling for. Said, especially Chelsea fans, especially Nigerian Chelsea fans. Even if you go on social media, especially after that loss on Thursday, they were angry, and even everybody was angry about that game, Chelsea fans. But in this game, he needs to just win, get 3 points for them to cool down small for him.
Let's say want me to increase the rate. They win, they increase the rate. No question mark. No question. If you win this match, because that's what I said in the first leg, I think they settled for a draw. So going head to head against Fulham has been a better side, a good side really this season with their numbers in the Premier League. But Chelsea came in with a fire in the beginning of the season that puts them in the place they are right now. But towards the end of this season, with the transfer window of January and everything that's happened in Chelsea and the press conference, you see that there's a dip in form in the Chelsea side. There's a dip in form. Players are not really turning up, and I think there was a question he was asked about Kopama in the press conference, and Babadi couldn't answer yes, he couldn't answer no. He was trying to dodge and protect his players, but English press are just wicked. They will just force you until you enter their trap, and that's one thing I'm sure they're good at. But looking at this game, they have a Fulham side who are good on the night, and they're at home. Fulham's home is like a fortress this season. They've not lost much at home this season.
Okay, John, if you look at that game, Maresca needs all 3 points. No matter what we are saying here, you just need 3 points because if they don't win today, it's going to be tough for them to play Champions League next season.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, and they'll have nobody but themselves to blame. For all they talk about resting Rhys James in the previous Premier League game and then bringing him on in the Conference League,
yeah.
yes. Still the same still the same bad result on the day. And let's not forget that in this encounter, the reverse encounter, Fulham beat Chelsea 2-1. So playing at home, Fulham are going to be in superior position to come away with all 3 points in this encounter. When you put into perspective the fact that Chelsea players and strikers have been underperforming. You understand me? When you put into perspective the fact that you can't really say who is starting, you can't really say who is going to carry the torch for them today, and it's looking like a bleak one. But you have to give it to Chelsea in the sense that if there is going to be a solo performer who is going to turn it around for Chelsea today, Chelsea have that player in the pitch. It's going to be, will they start or will they come off the bench?
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. Fulham will play Chelsea in that by 2 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, other games happening in the Premier League is Ipswich will play Arsenal. Arsenal has nothing to play. They cannot win the Premier League again. It's obvious that Liverpool is going to win it, but Arsenal needs to get all 3 points because, as we said at the beginning of the show, if they don't win, they will drag them into this struggle of top five. Because if you look at just 4 points behind Newcastle are just 4 points behind them, and if you look at Man City are just 6 points behind them. So if they draw or lose this game, it's going to be tough. But against Ipswich Town, they are almost relegated. I think Arsenal, no matter who they feel, should get all 3 points.
I wouldn't bank on no matter who they field though, because when Arteta made that statement that he's going to be fielding more of the kids in the Premier League and then leave the big guns for the Champions League, it's a smart decision. The question is going to be the kids you are fielding. You no longer have Chido in that side. You no longer have attackers in that side who can do something for the team.
Leave the one that will press release for you. There are other players.
Are they going to be able to score goals and win games? Because the last 2 draws they had is the same thing. You take a couple of players out to rest them for the Champions League, and you went away. You lost the opportunity to win those games, and that has put them where they are now, just 4 points ahead of Newcastle. And anything going wrong today, and Newcastle winning like I'm predicting, they will be second.
Okay, now so this game, Arsenal. What do you think? I wanted to say Arsene Wenger, but what do you think Arteta should do for in this particular game? They just need all 3 points because back-to-back draws is not actually good for them.
Back-to-back draws is not good for them. Is it good for? It's not good for anybody. But nobody will always win their games. Everybody has a point where you just sit down, play your game, and the opposition team will just shock you and get the result. Everybody did not plan to come and lose match. Nobody, even this pitch now in this game, they're not planning to come and lose. But the thing is, if you look at the way the team set up to play, Ipswich have always been the player we said, though they are new in the Premier League, they don't know how the Premier League is, but they still want to play their football. Now, looking at Arsenal's side, they've gotten what they needed this season, beating Real Madrid. We used to say it, if Arteta does not win anything this season, then he should be let go of the job. But with the performance against Real Madrid, they should have made a leave and therefore made a give an extra 7 years contract. You understand? But go next season, let Arsenal work on their performance. We don't want to hear after next season, we'll say next season again, because this season has been marred by officiating errors and all of that. And that's the complaint Arsenal fans are giving, or perhaps Arteta is giving, officiating errors and VAR not being on their side. So just dump all those excuses and go for the win, go for the kill. Whenever you have the performance or whenever you have the opportunity, go for the kill and win your games. Because you win your games, VAR not going to affect you.
Okay, I didn't ask for your prediction for Fulham versus Chelsea. What is your prediction for that game first?
Fulham winning.
Fulham to win, also?
Definitely, Fulham.
Fulham to win. Both of you are agreeing to it. Okay, I don't know.
No, the Brentford owner not agree. I said I draw.
I don't know what both of them are chop for night, but no problem. Okay, the Ipswich Town versus Arsenal. Who wins? Prediction.
Ipswich Arsenal. I'm giving it to Ipswich.
Okay.
They have everything to fight for.
Okay, and also is Ipswich to win.
Draw.
John is saying draw. Okay, let's move on to other game. Manchester United will play Wolves in other 2 p.m. Game. Remember, Amorim says that he's going to be resting players more for them to focus more on the Europa League.
Europa is still the next
2 weeks. In 2 weeks
from now, May.
So
I think time play the best players today.
I'm just saying what he said. That is going to be focusing on the Europa League and rest more players in the Premier League. That there's nothing to play for, which is actually makes sense to me. You can try something. All these things you are shouting, Koila, they should.
What are they doing now? Mariamas,
Ibrahimovic.
You go see say the ball.
I'm just saying that
Ibrahimovic,
all those players, you've been talking about. They should play these 2 games before the Europa League.
Name be like Calabar people, they Kukunki.
Okay, but if you look at that game, Wolves have won a couple of games recently. They are a part of the team that they are in form in the Premier League. If you look at their last 5 games, they have drawn 1 and won 4. So they are already survived this Premier League, even above West Ham because of this form they are in. But if you look at that game, Wolves are a dangerous player. But Manchester United, because of that, they are Thursday miracle.
Yes.
They are in high spirit to win this game.
Yes.
They are above West Ham with goal difference. I think minus 14.
That
and
one
minus-
concern
but
you.
they are
minus
both.
18.
But they
Now,
are
goal
both.
No be
difference,
that tell
na
you
the
may
same
you no
35,
score as
35
much
points.
goals as them.
See,
them
my
score.
players are injured. I believe my Antonio once is back. We'll be back to scoring form. You get as that guy go car crash.
For
like
the
this,
meantime, humbly accept your 18th
no, for the
position.
meantime, they are at the same point with West Ham. You understand? That's what you're saying, though. They are at the same point with West Ham. So 35 points though. But look at this game now against Man United. You know, Man United wrote a statement clearly in the Europa League quarterfinals against Lyon that it's not over until it's over. You know, the whistle is just all it says. That's what comeback kings do. You know,
But in the
That's
Premier
what-
League, it's
that's
over.
what that's what Ramontada is all about. You get, but now in the Premier League, it's not all over till it's over because the target is still to qualify for Champions League. You get, and even in the Premier League, not to don't relegate. And the target for don't relegate has been achieved because now look at where they are against above bottom 3. You know that definitely even if they lose the last 6 games, they're still not going to be dragged into the conversation. You get 18 points, they're still not going to be dragged into it. But you still have to try your best to win your next game.
Move higher on the table.
You get, and just move higher on the table because when this man came in, I think Man United were 14th. At some point he won a couple of games and moved to 12th. And he just draw one game, they don't see him for 13th. He can't lose the next one, they see him for 14th back. So it's like you're winning your games, but you're not making any progress on the table. That's what Man United, that's the stage Man United is at right now. But look at this game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's going to be a telling moment for Man United fans.
Okay, John, if you look at that again, Amorim is building. You have to, all of us agreed on this show, and everybody agreed that this season will just overlook this season. Just like we did at that first season at Arsenal. Nobody, because he came in around November for Arsenal, he finished I think 8th,
and he won the FA Cup.
But if Amorim is, do you think Amorim first is he in the right direction? If you are looking at him.
You can't judge Amorim till you give him his team.
His team, right? From
You
next
can't
season,
judge
right?
him
You
till
start
you give
looking
him
at
his
him
team, yes.
from next season. Okay, but in this game against Wolves, what do you think will happen against Wolves?
Against Wolves, Man, you are going to lose if they play with the academy boys. If they play with the first team 11, they are going to get.
They are going to lose still.
They are going to get
either ways. Because I don't know. You know, when we talk about giving Amorim time, and I'm like, okay, fine. This thing with the sport for my don't start the sport before Mourinho time. So let's say during the LVG time when you go sign, or during Moyes time when you supposed to sign strikers and they don't give them, they can't sign Fellaini for Moyes. Then LVG came in with the Di Marias and the rest of them, and the old men. I think Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin in midfield. You look at it that year. This is not the spoil already from there they come, and something that's taken almost 8 to 10 years to spoil finish. You can't expect this man to come in 5 months, fix everything. You know they work like that now. Some bridges are not built in a day, and Rome, according to the Rome was not built in a day, but they don't tell us how many days they use build Rome. So because of that, we just keep saying Rome was not built in a day. No, we expect Amorim to at least we have a time limit of him to build. 2 years is enough for you to start maybe building. But after 2 years, bro, you don't have an excuse of not putting Man United in the map of at least top 4 where they need to be, and or perhaps even not top 4 title contention.
Well, I think 2 years is for you to identify your identity.
Thank you.
Let your identity be sure.
Bros, after 2 years,
top 4, the 4th year you can challenge for the
after
title.
2 years, you should have built a team because 2 years has 4 transfer windows.
Yeah, every team is different.
Depending on the financial capacity of the club, the
2 years is summer, winter, and we'll start from this summer to start counting. So this summer, you have your transfer window after the club World Cup.
How many did he take Arteta to challenge the league? 3 years, right?
Yes.
He finished 8-8. I think
He finished 8-6 and then moved from there.
Okay. Okay. Let's see.
Amorim is not Arteta. He can do 14th this season.
The problem
and do second next season and win the league after that.
United is almost same with Arsenal. You have to almost let go of all the players.
Yes.
Almost, because what Arteta did, he had to list almost all the players.
The only outlier between Arsenal and Manchester United is that Manchester United never stuck with any manager they brought in. They brought in Moyes on Ferguson's recommendation. They never really trusted him, never really gave him budget to spend to get the players he needed. They brought in LVG, thought that it was the man, gave him everything he wanted, and the man didn't deliver. And they've just been jumping ship, changing philosophy along the way, signing a moribund group of players that neither fit the club's identity.
These people.
But the difference is when you have a club identity and philosophy, look at Brighton, they recruit after a mold, they sign players after a mold, they bring in managers after a mold, and you can look at 4 years with different managers, the trajectory is up. But in Manchester United, if we have to keep coming back to the sack, if we have to keep coming back to the sack Amorim every time they lose, or coming back to these guys are not performing, or they are not running every time they lose, you have to put in perspective the fact that, is this guy the man you want to take this team forward? If yes, get him his players. You get him his players. You can't judge him.
I did a research. Was Harry Maguire was sorted after by David Moyes at Man United, and I think then it was at Hull City, and his value was 3.8 million, so approximately 4 million pounds, 4 million euros at the time. He said Man United, and they told him the Glazers, because now Ineos team is here, and they're like, okay, fine, we want to partner with the coach, and these are footballing. When you put footballing people in footballing matters, that's what Ineos has done. Let's handle football matters. Why the general business matter can be handled by everybody, but let's handle football matters, and that's what Ineos team is doing. Under the Glazers, they had non-footballing people in football matters. Okay, and that was one of the problems Man United. That I read the report somewhere where they said a scout had to call a Man United official on phone that he has a top talent for the man, and all of a sudden he could not get through to him. He called for weeks, I couldn't get through to him, and the player went to the next.
If when you're talking about the Ineos people that they are footballing people, I wouldn't be too sure, because look at the other club where, when you see somebody's track record, you have a mindset or a preview of what is attainable at wherever they are currently. Go look at France, look at the team they have there.
I think the problem with Manchester United is not necessarily about because truthfully, you can complain about whatever you want to complain about these old guys. What's their name?
The Woodward.
The
Glazers family.
They bought players.
Yes.
They were spending money carelessly.
It's not about carelessly. If somebody says that I want Pogba, they bought him Pogba for you.
And you overpay.
It's not about overpaying. Your club that
the Champions League, but why you not overpay?
No, apart from that too. Because they have the money.
Yes.
And a coach, you want your club to, for example, you want your club to survive or to do well. They ask for a player, you give them. The only problem is that the players they brought, they did not win titles. So because of that, they keep changing coaches. That was part of the problem. I think that part of the problem that they were changing coaches. You'd have found a coach and stay. Because look at everybody is staying. Okay, if they sack Ancelotti, who they won't come bring. Only person there that is Alonso. Because Alonso is an old guy. Do you understand? Because there are no coaches around. I think part of the problem, okay, imagine that if Arteta was in Arsenal and he finished 18th and 6th, probably they will sack him. They bring another coach and they start all over again. For example, if you bring in Amorim is changing the whole system.
Yes.
If after 4 years, it doesn't work, you gotta bring somebody like Arteta. Arteta will have to remove all the players
again. So that's the problem.
That they keep bringing coaches with different mindsets
and different philosophy, and the club has lost their identity.
They should have just recruit based on what you want to achieve.
Like I said, the club went through a takeover. And through that takeover, the new managers have said, okay, the new, perhaps people in charge of football said, this is what we want. And they brought in Amorim. And now let's look at how they progress from there. That's just the thing. Ineos team just came in, I think,
Ineos
team just came in at least last year.
Let's see what.
So towards the end, I think they came in towards the end of, and you want to compare that record now. Wait, you want to compare the record? I don't know you want to do about
Ineos team.
You want to compare the record to what they have at France.
It's not what I'm. It's not where I'm. That one
you've said that before.
It's not where I'm going to.
Since you've said that before, let me correct you that even the London Cowboys, the owners have another club in France.
You can correct yourself, but the bottom line is, all this talk about Amorim having four windows, and if he does not do anything within that 4 windows, that's balderdash, because the club has to have the finances in the first place to bankroll those expenses, and they cannot bankroll those expenses without breaching PSR and without getting players out. And those players, you are not getting them out at full value.
My
So
own
you are
is that-
taking a loss to get them out of the club in the first place.
apart
And
from
you
that,
get the money to get new players in.
apart from that,
From where?
if they are going to be
From the sky.
it's two things. For example, it's two things. If I'm thinking about it, it's two things they are going to do. Is that they stop with Amorim, or if Amorim doesn't work, they need to buy a player that have the same philosophy like Amorim that will continue with three at the back that works. That's the problem, because if you sack Amorim and maybe after 5 years not doing well, you have a player that fits into this 3-5 whatever formation is playing.
You know, many
Then-
coaches these days are playing the three at the
That's
back.
if Manchester United want to continue in that.
That's the
line.
problem, because what is changing, Amorim is insisting that his identity is what he's playing now. It means that that identity must work. If it does not work, they bring in another coach like probably that likes play 4-4-3 and he has wing back that he
You
does
will
not
change
know.
everything all
Start
over
all over
again
again.
and struggle continues.
But let's see what happens with Manchester United. They play Wolves today. Final game is Leicester City and Liverpool. Leicester City have been dashing points to everybody. So we are
They
expecting
played a draw
Liverpool.
last night. The last time out.
Nobody see they see dash people
They
points.
not they dash people point, but they play draw and they fight for that draw. 2-2 draw, easy. Scoring 2 goals in one game. And though that was an away from home game. This one now is a home game. And the record of them not scoring at home continues.
Okay,
Are they going to score against Liverpool? Is yet to be seen.
I think Liverpool should win this one, John.
Straight up, man.
Liverpool
Straight
should
up.
be winning this one. Okay, that's all for the Premier League. One game on Monday is happening on Monday. It's Tottenham. Tottenham will play.
That's Super Monday.
Tottenham will play Nottingham Forest on Monday in that battle of top 5 for Nottingham Forest. But let's see who wins. Okay, moving back to our YouTube channel before we move over to the La Liga and other leagues happening today. Other predictions are dropping. George, welcome to the show. He said, good morning, guys. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. I am Joy from New Haven. Okay,
Welcome.
Joy, thank you for joining us on today's show. Remember, I hope you subscribe to our channel, Joy.
Very
Please,
important.
George, subscribe to our channel, and we have an amazing content for you there. He's predicting 3 goals to 1, 3-1 against Chelsea. And he's also saying, we, Arsenal, we will win this game just to postpone Liverpool joy till we reach Champions League finals. Okay, finally,
okay.
How will you postpone it to reach Champions League final?
Judah is
They
also
will keep
saying,
closing the gap. Now that's what it means by winning their games.
Judah is also saying, Godwin, if he be funny identity with Manchester United, probably it's funny. They keep changing identity all the time. Okay, Anacletus prediction is saying Anacletus will be saying Fulham 3, Chelsea 3, and he's predicting Arsenal to win Ipswich 3 goals to 0. Finally, he's saying Wolves and Manchester United will draw 2-2 in that game. Okay, let's see if all your predictions work. We will come here to discuss all the games on Monday. Okay, move on to La Liga before we start taking calls quickly. Games are happening in La Liga. Remember, it's a 2-horse race in the La Liga. It's between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Real Madrid are 4 points behind Barcelona. Remember, Real Madrid are out of the Champions League, and they are 4 points behind Barcelona in the La Liga title. They have already lost the Super Cup against Barcelona, and they will play Barcelona in the finals of the Copa del Rey. So, in both, they might go trophyless this season.
Yes,
maybe
very big one.
Except Barcelona drop points in the league and they win them in the Copa del
The
Rey
last time
final.
let me remind you, last time they lost to Barcelona by a long margin, they won a double.
And you said it for Champions
It's
League.
no
but
longer
Champions League
available
now.
this season now.
It's possible
Now
now.
only Copa del Rey.
Double no they are
La Liga
available.
no still dey
Okay, it's
4
possible.
points.
4 points is there. Okay, the games happen.
If I say Liverpool if Arsenal can, we are confident that Arsenal could have closed out or delayed Liverpool's 8 or 15 points. What's 4 points?
Week 32 in the La Liga, yesterday Espanyol won Getafe 1 goal to 0. For today, Rayo Vallecano will play Valencia by 3:15. Barcelona will play Celta Vigo. Is a very, very, very important game for Barcelona today. Mallorca will play Leganes. Las Palmas will play Atletico Madrid 8 p.m. For tomorrow's game, Valladolid will play Osasuna. Villarreal will play Real Sociedad. Sevilla will play Alaves, and Real Madrid will play Atletico Club. On Monday, Girona will play Real Betis. Okay, quickly, if you look at Barcelona versus Celta Vigo, it's always a tough game for them to play. Tricky game to play Celta Vigo. Last game, they won with an own goal and all that. But they need just win your games. If you win your last 6 games, you win the last 4 games, right? Okay, if you win 5 games out of 6, you win the La Liga.
It's all up to them right now as it stands, because it's in the most important thing about winning the league is that when it's in your power, it's in your power, right? The most important thing for those chasing is you have to find a way to maintain consistency while hoping that the people you are chasing drop points. You
That's the
understand me?
problem.
But the difference now is that if you look at goals scored so far this season, if you are chasing, you are already disheartened because the guys who are ahead of you score for fun. And in this encounter against Celta Vigo, I'm seeing a way for Barcelona.
Okay, and also who wins in this game? Barcelona and Celta Vigo.
It's going to be difficult going to the Camp Nou to get a point for Celta Vigo, but I'm hoping they can just find some way to just draw. Perhaps.
In this final 6 games remaining in the league, they play an Clasico 2 weeks time. So
Yes.
they'll be hoping that probably Barcelona drops points and
They win that one.
if they will, even though that Barcelona will still be on top because of head-to-head, there's no way they are going to score 5-1. Is it 5-1? They ended on 4-1 the first leg.
4-0.
Is it 4-0 or 4-1?
They didn't score a goal.
Okay, they didn't score a goal. 4-0. So they need to score for them to tie that head-to-head because in the La Liga they don't do goal difference. They do
And that's the
head-to-head.
definition, same points now.
Yes, they do head-to-head.
Same
If
point,
they
same
finish on the same point, they do
But
head-to-head.
if they draw today and Real Madrid wins tomorrow, what happens then?
That's what I'm saying. It will be 3 points. That 3 points, then they will play.
If they draw today, it becomes 5 points. If Real Madrid wins tomorrow,
It's 2
it
points.
becomes 2 points.
2
So
points.
they
Okay,
need
if
2
they
points.
win,
If they now win, they go
Clasico,
by
they
1
go Barcelona.
point. So
Okay, it's true.
it's just simple. Let's just try and stop Barcelona from winning against Celta Vigo.
Okay.
You can try.
Tomorrow, Real Madrid will play Atletico Club or Atletico Bilbao. It's going to be a tough
Madrid
game.
has a tougher match compared to FCB.
Yes, if you look at this game, they are playing tomorrow. They are not playing a small team. The Williams brothers are playing in that team, and they are going to play Manchester United in that semi-final of the Europa League. But they play Barcelona. They play Real Madrid today. In this game, Madrid have struggled to win games. Like even in La Liga, I don't know. I keep asking probably did Mbappe probably bring him. I don't want to go into that argument, but in this particular game, Madrid should be winning 3 points.
When we talk about
Nothing is
Mbappe,
promised.
when we talk about Mbappe in this side and we look at the way the team is set up to play, Tony left. Now we are saying Valverde could come in that midfield and perhaps be the man to fill those shoes. But now the Valverde that is coming in to fill those shoes has been shifted to right back. Now, which means nobody is filling those shoes in midfield.
Whose fault?
You get
They are bringing strength now, so all these things.
Nah,
Whose fault?
season, wait
All this
now.
man now, I excuse this guy.
No,
Nothing you
I'm
want
not
to
telling
tell
you
me.
excuses. Now, next season, when they bring in Trent, we will know how far. In coming weeks, Carvajal will be available. We will know how far. You get, but for this season, the story about Kylian disrupting the flow of the attack is not what we want to hear because at first he was not scoring goals and he's not scoring goals. Now he's scoring goals and he's disrupting the attack.
Baba, big games, he has not turned up for the side.
It's a thing of
Argue with your
it's a thing of if you do well, excuse the day to crucify the guy. If you not do well, bant at a day to just disrupt
bans go still dey whether you like am or not, so you can't excuse him. Everybody get banned.
In this Real Madrid side, he's not disrupting anything.
He is.
Okay,
This
who
is
wins
his
in
first
this game?
season.
John, who wins in this game?
In this encounter,
Yes.
Atletico Bilbao.
You
Straight up.
know
I
you
know they
want-
hide my mouth. Straight up.
Your own Babele
Because it concerns you. Me, I'm looking at numbers and I'm looking at stats and I'm telling you that I've been crying since the beginning of the season. You know, like a prophet ahead of his time. I've been telling you that you guys are clapping for a Madrid that is surviving by when you fight boxing and you win by points. That means the judges, because you are defending champion.
You land
and
punches
the-
now. I make you
because you
get
are
points for the
because you are a defending champion and it's down to points, they give it to you because you are defending and because judges decision, right? But to win games and knock out your opponent clinically, Madrid haven't done that in a long time, man. And you can't keep just touting them based on the name. And I've been saying it from the start of the season. We've seen it deteriorate to the point where they've crashed out shamefully out of the Champions League. And all I'm saying is, bro, look at the terrible defense, look at the dysfunctional midfield, and look at the floundering attack, and you come and tell me how they are going to win Atletico Bilbao in this encounter.
Okay, let's get
How do you win Atletico Bilbao? You go see him
Okay,
tomorrow.
the operation for for you, Madrid wins.
Nah, hala Madrid. Hala, Madrid.
Obviously, John is going to support Bilbao.
He's already said it. Bilbao is going to win in this encounter, but let's wait and see.
Okay, let me open the phone line for you to give us your own prediction, especially in the Premier League. Tell us who you think, what you think will happen this weekend. The number to call is 0706-048-5853. Okay, and Atletus is predicting Madrid 1, the Atletico Bilbao 2. Okay, let's see if it's going to work. Okay, let's take the first call and get predictions for today's game. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Name and location,
King of
please.
Babylon.
Okay, what is your prediction for today's game? Or this weekend's game?
Yes.
They did well. 10 against 11. And they win them by 2 goals, not 4-2, 10 against 11. And the people are telling me that Madrid did well. If not because of the other coach messing himself up.
How did he mess himself up?
How can you play give a player to play almost 120 minutes?
Which player?
Have a substitute, they win, give them the winning.
You know how many sub the man do for normal regular time?
That's the reason why that coach makes himself up. Right? Just to win their match. Just to leave
Nah, that Ike, that fresh leg, na get am the equalizer.
Okay.
That's waiting. 10 against 11. They say they did well. Who can't do well? 10 against 11.
Ike.
Okay, what are your predictions for today's game? This weekend's game.
I think Man City have match today.
Yes.
They will never win the match.
Let go me.
Now you. After you, now you. Okay. Next.
He know how to do win himself. Maybe he will do it against because I also win the match.
Okay.
I think for Newcastle, Liverpool.
Newcastle Aston Villa.
Newcastle Aston Villa.
Newcastle Man U.
No. Man U Wolf. Man U Wolf.
Okay, Man U not going to win anything. This is how much they give us schools. English players, the players say they win second level. Not they die with that.
Okay, thank you very much. Chelsea will win, obviously.
Bad Belle, King of Bad Belle.
India's not good there. We already know Chelsea will win. Man U will lose. Man City will lose.
Chelsea will win.
We agree.
Arsenal will lose as well.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Bishop.
Okay.
Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning.
I hear you now. First of all, sorry, Bishop. Yeah. First of all, let's keep it straight. Not like even if Leon has won that they did something that has never happened. Come on, it's on record. 10 teams beat 11 teams. It's on record. Even Man U has done that. Yeah, like a lot. I don't know any name, but it's on record that the 10 teams has beaten 11 before.
Normally.
So, yes. So that doesn't mean that Man U did not, because that is, if I didn't go back. I don't understand. Like, that first half, we are comfortably beating a team.
Thank you.
I was drinking, okay, this is a good day at the office. We needed it. You showed the energy, you scored 2 comfortably. Not like there was even a struggle in the first half. On the second half, you concede 71-78. I was like, what is going on here? They're not being confused and all that. How? Okay, at the end, they're minus 1 person for you. We are okay in the extra time because one person is out there coming up to do that. They scored first. Even if you consider that they scored second. And like this drama and what happened, like I was like, what is going on? Just to give us high BP. To be honest, like the emotions and everything, at the point you are happy, at the point you are sad, now we are back to happiness and all that. Like this team, the thing is that I understand what John is saying, that you can't just be sacking coaches. Yes, I agree on that one. At least you should keep one person and trust him, trust the process, and see what he's going to do. So, in as much as they are doing that, I have said it before, I think you should also be winning matches. Like, win matches to stay in the league, win matches at least to make top 4. Win matches convincingly. Sometimes you see this your idea, how you use it to win match. That is a hope. You get when you are giving someone a hope, you need to be seeing something tangible. You need to be seeing something to be hoped for. Understand?
Yes.
The issue I have with Samorin for now is that their identity is trying to show. I will not say, I will just, pardoning him, everybody saying the same thing that you can't use this particular player to show their identity. But in as much as we believe that, I also believe that someone can come in and teach you what you don't know and try to make you understand and work with him the way you want. Yes, you can employ someone. So, okay, this is how we do it here in this office. So this is how you introduce yourself. This is how you do it. The person can learn and adapt.
Okay.
I believe I have enough of time to make some of them to adapt. Okay, in this team, before I drop, who do you think that have adapted? I did not teaching them, but is it for his fault or is it the fault of the players? Whose fault?
I think you have to look at the players because you
We are
can.
giving him time to get his own players. But know that we need to get his own players. If this continues, which excuse again do we have?
Let's,
Let's see how this goes.
we have to see that. Thank you, Bishop.
Yes, I agree. We have to sit and wait for him to get his own players. If he cannot teach those ones, adapt to his team. Because their brain, something cannot enter again.
Okay.
But I don't use money close their brain now.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's get more prediction from you. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Name and location, please.
Yeah, this is Alex.
Okay.
What did I say? Beyond. Okay, let me start from saying this now. Has it not been any time that the game has been going on and other things have been losing with a 2-goal margin and they come back from that 2-0? Has it not been happening? That's 2-goal.
Yeah.
That not be of the game.
Yes.
What are we talking about here? You really are not a strong team. Yeah, let us even put it out of context. This one, everybody, most of the Mexican fans are complaining that how can you be losing? Even training, even funny, the defender cannot come back from 4-0 in Champions League to overturn it against PSG. What are we saying? Are we saying 2-0 is not too much? Let me say this: 2-0 is not too much.
Okay.
I don't know why we are complaining. And again, they even when they equalize the goal, when the game enters extra time and they reduce their player to 1 man down. It was from that 1 man down that they used and winning 4-2. They came back from 2-2 and they were winning 4-2. They used to use red card and win games. That one is that way. You see this La Liga game, you see this La Liga race. It's not over until it's over. Let us even not forget that Real Madrid, we still have a Clasico in the Copa del Rey final.
Yes.
You understand? So I think Madrid now have distraction with Ancelotti leaving or maybe him staying. So but still on that, they still have even more cup to play. You understand? There's still a lot to play for. Madrid is not over. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's very far that that's not removed them. You understand? So for my team, I think this weekend game, Premier League, this weekend game against Wolves, even though we don't win the game, that one doesn't bother me. My main focus now is in the Europa League.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, nice prediction. Let's see if they are going to win the Europa League. I think the focus should be Europa League. I think Amorim agrees to that too. Okay, on our YouTube channel, Kingstar Vincent, welcome to the show. Kingstar, hope you are subscribed to our channel. You say, hi guys, this is Oluebube from Enugu. For me, I think the Premier League has started dancing. Look at the way everybody is fighting, except Man U and Southampton, Barcelona and Liverpool fan. Okay, Chigozie, welcome to the show. So good morning, sir. Good morning, guys. United is in a progress now. For the fact that Radcliffe could stop Ferguson from earning £2 million annually and stop useless spending shows that they are in the right direction. Okay, let's see if Man U is going to do well this next season. Yeah, let's take the final call here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, John.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
This is Friday calling.
Friday.
Friday,
Long time.
Where you go?
Where you leave us go?
I go America.
You go watch Conference League against the Liga was
No problem. We don't survive. We don't qualify.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Match food for shit. You hear me?
Yes.
So I thought people that go wind them, they go win them. See, man, you not supposed to be talking. Then I get 11. Many people take them. Then I get 11. They just go 2 goals. They come again. They can't pass. They begin to make noise. They go somehow. They don't win this
Europa League.
This is Europa. They go here, man. They will go down more, and the Wolves will win the
normal.
Normally,
They
nah.
will win Man City.
Normally, nah. I know they. I didn't even say he talk say we go win for fear, but normally. West Ham unko, West Ham unko.
Barcelona. They will win West Ham. They will win West Ham.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Friday.
Okay, on our YouTube channel at Igbo, I don't know if I got your name right. I don't think you are Nigerian, but he said Igbo is saying we are the best Osime Galatasaray. Okay, yeah, Osime is actually doing well in that team. I don't even know if he's going to stay. I don't think he's going to stay in that team, but the fans love him. The fans loves him. He's always saying that Galatasaray love Icardi, Osime, and Morata. They have a very good team there. Thank you for joining us on our show today. Okay, finally, the Npfl is happening today and tomorrow. Lobby Stars will play Rangers International 4 p.m. today. Enyimba will play Kano Pillars. Katsina United will play Abia Warriors. That's all 3 games happening today in Nigeria Npfl. Tomorrow, Niger Tornadoes will play Bayelsa United. Ekanemi Warriors will play Ikorodu City. Rivers United versus Sunshine Stars. Heartland of Owerri will play Kwara United. Shooting Stars will play Remo Stars, the leaders of the Npfl. Plateau United will play Akwa United, and Bendel Insurance will play Nasarawa United. Okay, Rangers is going away. They never even they win home. Now away because they get home.
Just what is this same game now will be played? I think in the stadium in Enugu, because Lobby Stars have been playing in Enugu for some time now. So I don't know which atmosphere we're going to be expecting. Are we going to be expecting the Lobby Star atmosphere, or are we going to be expecting the Enugu Rangers atmosphere? Because it just feels like every time we say Rangers is playing a match, everybody's holding their hands in their hearts in their pockets, because they don't know what to expect. We don't know the Rangers that is going to turn up. Now, winning the FA Cup and progressing to the next round was a plus for them, was a big plus. But going into the next stages of this, what's it called now, this current Npfl season, and finishing 8th after winning the league is poor performance. In general, even if they win the FA Cup, it's still poor from the players. It's still poor from every whether the academy they want to start experimenting with. It's just poor performance from all of them in general. So I just feel like go against the Lobby Stars, play your football, run, try and be running, because I was in the stadium in the last game and I was telling John here that how can you lose the ball and the players you're playing against are on the offensive and you have 6 of your players deep in their half, strolling back, while 8 of their players, and you're deep there with just 2 defenders, while the rest of them has run to the other half to try and see if they can get themselves a goal. And at that point, you're still losing 2-0, I think. You're still losing 2-0. So you have 5 players strolling back, and you only have 6. And in general, this season, they've lost 5 home games and 6 away games, 11 in total, which is poor for me. I'm just saying, if we can just salvage this season and win these next 2 matches, it will be a plus for us.
John, they should focus on the presidential FA
Cup. At least win this match. Now win this one.
We can't just focus on presidential FA Cup because that one is still not in our hands. At the end of the day, you have to focus on your input. This is an input-output thing, right? If you get your inputs right, you get the right outcome. So we can't discount the league. The league is important. Finishing in the top 3 is still an option. It should be something that we are focused on, and then going as far as we can in the FA Cup.
Okay, let's see what happens.
We can't just give up on those 2.
Let's see what happens with Rangers International. They play Lobby Stars this weekend. Let's hope they get all 3 points. Thank you for joining us on today's show. Finally, Goretzka has been scoring. He has scored again hat-trick yesterday, making it 47 goals in 46 games this season. And he has 58 goals and assists for this season. So he is going to be a very, very hot property in the summer. And Sporting Lisbon is looking at about 70 million euros for him to move. So if anybody has 70, you're correct, yes. If everybody has 70 million, they can go and buy
Arsenal have 70 million and City have 70 million.
This is how we are going to end today's show. Thank you for joining us today's show. Monday we'll come back here and discuss all these games that happened throughout the weekend. My name is Godwin, and be good to your neighbor. Today is
Holy Saturday.
Holy Saturday.
This weekend is just holy.
Yes.
This weekend, tomorrow is Easter. Let's be kind to each other, and let's hope that Nigeria will survive Nigeria, and Nigeria will not, let me not say much, but let's hope that Nigeria gets better. Thank you. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye for now.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Vote 104.
We survived Nigeria. Nigeria will not survive.
You want that motivation? I said no.
Motivational speaker. Don't be, I don't understand. How can we say this is only weekend and there is no party thereof? I don't
It's
understand.
only weekend.
What's happening here?
Now Sunday and Monday party.
Please keep that one for your side, people. Let's talk about
and politics.
pressing things.
Pressing things due tomorrow. I will be.
You know how you
But
say.
like this,
Kingdom of God is within people. Odenigbo.
Daalụ nọ ndị be anyị ekele m unu Igbo ndị ọma njem ọnụ unu a na-emekwa ọfụma
Awesome programs exclusively